Hello, hello. How are you guys? Welcome
Morning.
Good morning. Welcome, welcome.
to our second part of living with disabilities.
Yeah,
How is everybody?
We're good.
doing good.
Hanging in there. It's been a interesting month. It's an interesting topic, and I think it's good that we're getting some of the resources out to share because this is really interesting stuff.
Yep. Who do
Definitely.
who do we have today, or who's helping us?
Today is our lucky day.
Okay.
We
Ooh,
have Miss
lucky day. I
Rhonda.
like that.
What's that?
Say lucky day. I like that.
Yeah. Today's Miss Rhonda Romero from the FAS program. She's going to explain her program. Actually, I don't want to mess it up. Rhonda, how you doing?
I am
Welcome.
doing good.
I tried to introduce your program. You want to tell us about your program?
Sure. So I'm here in the Healthy Native Nation office,
Yeah.
and we are actually the first Native American No FASD affiliate. Um,
Mhm.
we do research here. We advocate for families with disabilities, mostly FASD. And yeah, I I don't know what else. There's a lot we do here.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, we were talking last month when we were looking at inviting our guests for this month's topic, and yep, I think you brought Rhonda up, and we're like, oh yeah, for sure, that'd be perfect
Mhm.
considering the fact of we don't. Number one, I don't think we look at FAS and as a disability. We don't know a lot about it, but we don't realize the impact it has on our kids.
Mhm.
Hmm. Yeah, so most families that I work with have ADHD, autism, FASD, and other issues like anxiety, learning delays, a lot of the times, behavioral issues. Yeah, so believe it or not, FASD is common. We estimate that up to 10% of US population is affected, more common than autism and Down syndrome.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So just to educate the masses here, what is FASD?
So it is when a mother, well, I don't want
Mhm.
to say that. It's a broad spectrum of disabilities. There's so many. um, I don't even know where to begin. I'm going to bust out some notes. Um, this happens when a fetus is exposed to alcohol during pregnancy. So, and a lot of times, a mom doesn't really know she's pregnant until about 5 to 6 weeks. So, you might have had a girls' night out or drank a few drinks at a dinner, whatever the case may be. And sometimes, um, by 6 weeks, you can pull up my pregnancy chart, the turquoise one with the lady holding the baby. I created this along with my team. But from here, I like to really point out most women don't find out they are pregnant until about 5 to 6 weeks. And by then, the central nervous system, eyes, heart, ears, teeth, and arm and legs are already developing.
Mhm.
So all of these, can be affected. Most importantly, the brain is developing throughout the whole pregnancy.
Is it
So,
is,
I
is it
mean,
ever
learning
okay to drink during
disabilities is
pregnancy?
number one.
Sorry.
Excuse me?
Sorry, excuse me. Is it ever okay to drink during pregnancy?
I would say no. I wouldn't recommend it at all.
And I feel like that's a strong conversation amongst, you know, I don't want to say millennials, but just in general, where people say, yeah, it's okay to have one glass of wine, you know, you'll be fine, blah, blah, blah. And I see it, you know, through it in social media and how people promote that as, yeah, it's okay. You're okay to have, you know, one glass, you know, but, you know, I don't see why anyone would want to take that chance.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel you know,
I have a
great
question,
topic.
Ms. Rhonda. Going back to your previous slide, how much is too much? You know, because it says the truth about alcohol. Is one glass too much?
Yes, any amount.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Right.
no safe amount. Alcohol is the leading cause of fetal death. So for me, I wouldn't recommend any alcohol at all,
Right.
as does any of our affiliate programs. No alcohol at all during pregnancy is the safest choice.
Yeah, I know. Yep, we've always heard like a glass of wine a day, or it's totally fine to have a glass of wine if you're pregnant. It helps you relax. And
I've even seen celebrities post pictures of, like, you know, them
really,
holding their baby, breastfeeding, and a glass of wine, and, like, you know, promoting it as like, yeah, this is fine, this is okay to do. My dog, you know, I don't know what the resources was, but, you know, I've seen it out there, and that's why I'm just like, wow. I always feel it's a little conversational, you know, controversial as far as you know, what's accepted and, you know, the myths and facts about that.
You just have to remember, going back to this pregnancy chart, I think it's so important. Like, your fetus's brain and central nervous system is developing throughout the pregnancy. Like, do you really want to take that risk?
Right.
You know, like, I just think it's so important to support our moms and sisters and aunties, anybody who's thinking of getting pregnant, you know, prepare ahead of time. I have my boy's 24, and I'm constantly educating him, like, you know, you need to prepare. Like, at least for me, I think from doing research in the communities and sitting with families and talking about their pregnancy history, you know, what they went through and what they had, what they didn't have. I think it's just better and safer to plan ahead. Don't have any type of alcohol. I mean, even marijuana, like, months ahead of time. Your epigenetics and genetics, all that is at risk. So I just feel like it's safe to prepare ahead of time and not do anything. So that's what I teach a lot of my clients. And then most of the time it's sadly, but already too late. So now we're trying to figure out how to support these families, intervention, how can we advocate for them, what type of resources are available for them, what can I do to support them and get them to resources. So it's really interesting. A part of my job right now, I hope you guys don't mind me, I didn't really even explain all of my job, but
yeah, I apologize. I didn't introduce you properly. I apologize. I kind of let you run with it. So please, yeah, explain more, please.
Yeah.
it's okay. So the last few years I've been doing research, and I've done 101 families through our medical system that had children with disabilities. And I did surveys and found out, you know, better how the community wants us, what they need, what their needs are, number one, and what we can do to support them. And it's on phase 2 of our program. and it's so interesting because I'm bringing the families back in. I get to move forward and do interventions pretty much with 25 families. So out of that 101 families, I'm able to move forward with 25. So me and my team, along with them, we've chosen, the families that we think that would benefit with what we have to offer. And I've been trained to do cortisol sampling, where we're measuring the stress levels of the family, the caregiver and the child. So I've been really busy getting all that done. And this Friday this is the third time we're having a neurobehavioralist specialist come in. So we do have resources here. We have contacts to specialists. I can do, like a soft handoff or give them contact information and resources. So it's really nice to see that all the families are willing to help me with getting more resources here, because without them, I can't do my job.
Yeah. So when you're talking about resources and helping families, are we talking about the baby and the child that's been impacted by alcohol abuse?
Yes.
Okay. What are some of the things that you would see? Let's say you don't know, you don't know that maybe, your child was affected. Maybe you didn't know, maybe you were drinking and you didn't know you were pregnant. So how would you know that your child's been affected with the alcohol use?
I would say like there's so many. Let me look at a couple. Like the baby may be sensitive to noise or light. The baby may want to just sit alone in the chair and not be bothered. He does best alone in the dark. Some babies will cry and cry. And then some are born premature. Low birth weight is one of them. Don't have control of I don't even know what you call it, you guys. I think it's impulse control, like where they're very startled with a little noise, like extremely startled where they can't calm down, they can't stop crying. So that type of issues for little ones. And then maybe for childhood, like poor social skills, lack of stranger danger, anxiety, delayed speech, as they get a little bit older, tantrums with raging, trying to hurt people, hurt animals.
Huh.
So it's it's a lot of, and it's different for each individual.
Yeah.
The cases vary, did mom have 2 drinks a week, or was she having like 12 every Saturday? So it just kind of depends.
Oh.
And what types of awareness events do you have to bring up these types of signs and symptoms? What can the community look for?
There's one recently that I'm very proud of, because I've had the community members and some of my clients step up and help me with this. I got to co-produce a couple of videos, actually 3 videos, and I have 2 out on YouTube. We can share the links, or they are on the Indian Health Council website, where we did talking about FASD and the dangers, and what a family can do to support the individual, and just awareness videos. And then we also have I've created our pregnancy chart for our OB and our pregnant women. I have that at multiple Indian health clinics, educating women on that. I do outreach with the OB clinic, the pregnant women that come in on Thursdays. I make them gift bags with a small gift for mama to be, and then like education, sometimes a gift card, just whatever I can get my hands on. I was buying gifts and or making jewelry because I love to bead for the mamas. But lately we've been having a lot of donations from different departments. So that's been really nice. And then I always hit up First Five because they always give like educational books and free little goodies for the moms to be. What else type of outreach do I do? I used to run a in-person support group for the parents and caregivers. And that went really well. And then, we had COVID. So I've been doing support group emails, which have been really fun, getting the families resources and inspirational quotes and, resources for their type of issues, the stuff they're going through.
Do you see that opening up anytime soon with COVID lifting? Bringing the support?
I do. I believe our multi-purpose room, I think we can have 20 people in there at once. I think the last I heard, with masks, of course, and then we'd have to sanitize everything before and after. So yeah, I really want to start that back up. I need to speak with my supervisors on that.
I've heard you mention your team a few times. You wanna share? Tell us some of your crew, who they are.
Some shout outs.
Yeah, definitely. So Dr. Annika Montag, she's out of UCSD. She's a professor as well, a scientist. So I love working for her. She teaches me so much. Yeah, she's amazing. And she's an awesome resource to get me resources for when I need specialty doctors from down in San Diego. She's my main contact. And then Leticia is our department director here in research and student development. And Shandine Amaro is my assistant. She helps me on Thursdays, and she runs another program. She's a coordinator, but she helps me a lot with things I need to get done. So yeah, and I do have an advisory board. My advisory board guides me on all my decisions. So whether it be creating a manual like we're doing now, they guide me and help me with what the contents needs to be, what I need to add, what I should take away. And my board consists of a couple of parents, caregivers that have children with disabilities, one doctor, an OB nurse, and a couple community members, and a couple of cultural leaders, I would call them. So yeah, I have a good team behind me.
Cool. Yeah, I know Miss Montag. I know her son Zach, and her and Shandine. So that's a cool crew you got over there.
Yeah, I'm really thankful. George, I was thinking back, and when I first got hired here, it was so interesting because you congratulated on my job and you're so excited for me. And you said, how's the FASD going? And I was just looked at you like, what? Literally, when I started here, I thought I was going to be like a secretary helping Sandra do, her assistant and do whatever she needs me to do. I had no idea I was going to be educating the community on fetal alcohol spectrum disorder or doing surveys. So I've come a really long way since I first started here, and I'm grateful for everything that I've learned.
Well, we're really proud of you, and you've taught us a lot about the approach when it comes to group work, especially when it's something so sensitive as this. It takes a lot of courage for families to come together, and a lot of our type of events are like large scale outings, and hey, we do some talking, and But when something like this is really sensitive and your approach is about respect and the intimacy, so I've really learned a lot from your approach when it comes to care and mostly just respecting people and where they're at, because this is something difficult, and it's affecting our babies, but at the same time they have the courage to ask for help, and you respect that and you take it from there. So you've definitely inspired us as well. So that's cool.
And I love the support groups because, the caregivers of these kids, it's a lot to do and take on, and they need that support, especially in the community, to, kind of support each other and understand what each other is going through. So,
yeah, and you also empower a lot of your participants, whether they're your artists or your jewelry makers or your cookers or whatever. You've also, because hey, they may have made a mistake at one point. It doesn't mean that they're bad people,
Right.
and
a lot of times, the women don't even know they're pregnant until 6-7 weeks. So they didn't intentionally make a little mistake. They didn't. Moms don't mean to hurt their babies, I don't think.
Of course. And
that's why we're here to help. Yeah, bring that awareness.
About disabilities, if your child's born with a disability, what we're talking about this month is mental disabilities, like ADD or maybe depression or anxiety disorders with people. But sometimes we feel like we did something wrong, but usually the case with a disability is we didn't, and we just have a baby who's a little different. And I think education is really empowering, learning about the disabilities, realizing that it wasn't your fault, and how we can cope with this and live a normal life. That's really part of it. So we have to take responsibility as educators to meet them where they're at. And I think you do a really good job at that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's cool. And your artwork, you have the best artists in town
on
your payroll.
Speaking on artwork, what are some fun facts you could share with us? Because I know this is all like little downer topics, but what are some fun facts about the program that, expect?
So we do have, well, right now it's on pause, but I am planning a 9/9 Awareness Day, and that's September 9th. It's actually National Fetal Alcohol Spectrum Day. So we were having like an annual art show before COVID. So I am planning to have one this upcoming September. So the community out there, start thinking about what type of art you'd like to enter. I'm not sure what the prize money and all that is yet, but the community really loves it and gets really involved. I think the most we've had enter was like 33 or 34. Wow. And I get beautiful art. I ask, if I ask when they sign up that, I like to create educational brochures, anything for our OB women that I can use. We've just used pictures, and I have multiple stuff, mama bear. So yeah, it's really fun. That's one of our cool facts.
That's awesome.
What would be cool? That art show, we did an art show before. It's so empowering to the participants, and it's remarkable how much talent we have just right in our own community. We have some of the most amazing artists in all of Indian country, if not the world, all around.
Oh yeah, I take it really serious. Most people know me in the community as a dressmaker. I love to sew. I've been sewing since I've been 12, and that's my passion. I love to sew. And I recently gave it up for a year for my dad passing, but I'll get right back into that. And, I really encourage all of my participants to, when we have our support group, we used to do in-person beadwork. We've made like beaded cradle boards for like little magnets for the refrigerator. We've done like bracelets, earrings, like our culture is so important, and I think we've incorporated that really well by making, native friendly, whether it be our brochures, on the internet, you don't see a native mom on a pregnancy chart, an educational pregnancy chart. You can't find that. So I have people all around the nation, emailing me wanting that for their people. So I'm so proud of that. That's something amazing. And when I got the guest speak in Canada a couple years ago, and I made so many cool contacts, Aboriginal, Hawaiians, like so many other Native people that we get to share what we create. So I'm really excited. And the videos, the FASD awareness videos that we created, we shared those all across the country as well, because National NoFast is, they're nationwide. So I'm really proud of that. I'm glad to be a part of that.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Ms. Rhonda, you talked a little bit about your support groups. I know we have a flyer. Do you want us to show it, or
Sure.
you want to talk a little bit about it?
Sure. It is a parent caregiver support group. Right now we are doing emails, and it's just an email. I've gotten a lot of really good feedback from this, and I am up to 66 participants. So
Wow.
I'm doing that twice a month with the help of my team, because sometimes if I have appointments and stuff, I won't be able to get everything. But they really like just the email checking in how they're doing, inspirational, it's spring, get outside, take a walk. And then we always have like activities to do with your children, inspirational videos on exercise. I think we have like 5 different topics we touch on that. It's been really empowering for the families. And I love when they email back, because, they're sending me pictures of what they did for the weekend at the zoo, or beautiful pictures of the beach, or they went out to the desert, took pictures of flowers. Like, I love hearing from my families and all the positive. And then sometimes they're calling me, upset, we're going through this. I wish we could come to support group. They really miss having the in-person support group. But I did learn that we did have a little barrier. I learned that we need to separate the children from the parents so they can open up more. So we're looking into getting childcare. That's what I want. I will not even have support group until we have childcare, because I want our parents to be able to open up and freely talk about what's bothering them. And it's really cool when you run a support group, because I keep it on track and I open up and I have a little inspirational blurb I read before we start, because what's said here needs to be between us, and you don't share other people's stories and all that good stuff. But I think I'm getting off track. What was my point?
Just promoting the focus, the support group.
Yeah, like, it's really nice to see the families support each other, because I don't know what they're going through. And sometimes they click up with each other, and they get to share each other's resources. Like, oh, I'm going through this. Oh, what'd you do for this? So it's really nice to see that. And then I kind of step back and let them intervene with each other.
Quick question. So they will see you by getting a referral, or can they contact you?
No, they can just email me. I was thinking I really need to start a QR code where people can sign up.
Art's our QR guy, so.
Yeah, Shandina's done that for me. So I need to get that out in the community, a flyer with our QR code.
We have a question out there. Can I post it?
Sure.
Post it now. Got about a minute. So, what a good insight that parents need to separate a bit from their kids to open up about what they are experiencing.
Definitely. Yeah, we had fun with the kids doing arts and crafts and sharing different things they're doing in their life and resources. But I noticed, some of the times we all go through days where we feel down. We don't feel like we have support. We're going through something, or we're stressed out about something, or financial, whatever the case may be. And I noticed some of the parents weren't able to open up. And well, yeah, their little 6-year-old is right next to them trying to do a fun art and craft, but they're engaging in another parent like wanting to cry. So and then it's just too distracting, People who have kids, it's hard to have an adult conversation with your little child on your hip, and especially a child with special needs. They're very, they want attention. So I think it's going to work best for when we have professional childcare to come in and help out.
Ms. Rhonda, we put your information, your contact information. We're rounding third. Any closing before we close? I wanted to thank you for coming out and being our guest.
Definitely.
George, Marissa, everybody
Thank
that
you, Rhonda.
participated.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for coming out. Any closing? We're good?
Sure, I have one closing.
All right, go ahead.
So from my experience, children with FASD and their families will not just survive, but thrive with the right support and treatment.
That's a good one.
That's perfect for our topic this whole month. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rhonda.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank
Thank you.
you.